On 6 March 1970, four CH-46 helicopters from HMM 262, the Flying Tigers, were sent on a mission to retrieve two lost Marines, First Lieutenant David Skibby and Captain Lavoy McVeigh, both lost on a previous mission on 2 March 1970. One CH-46, Echo Tango 16, was piloted by First Lieutenant Chuck Fleischer and co-pilot First Lieutenant John Kaczynski. Their role was to insert civilian irregular defense group guerrilla fighters to find the missing Marines and bring them back dead or alive. However, Echo Tango 16 came under fire and was brought down. The battle continued after the helicopter was on the ground. In the words of First Lieutenant Fleischer, Kaczynski was instrumental in carrying the dead and wounded from the cargo deck of the helicopter under small arms and 51 cal fire, while not recognizing that his own right hand was injured. Each time Kaczynski made that trip, the enemy fire following him increased. Kaczynski, during his trips to and from the fuselage, has also removed the big 50 cal machine guns from the carcass of Echo Tango 16 and scrambled classified information in the aircraft's radios. His actions saved many lives that day. This action resulted in 3 Silver Stars, 1 Bronze Star with a V for Valor, 3 Distinguished Flying Crosses, 7 Purple Hearts, and 1 KIA in those 4 CH-46 helicopters. First Lieutenant John Kaczynski received the Bronze Star with a V for Valor for his heroic efforts. On 8 March 1970, a CH-46, Yankee Kilo 20, from HMM 364, the Purple Foxes, was supposed to fly a routine resupply mission to LZ Baldy that turned into a random low-level area FAM flight. The helicopter was piloted by First Lieutenant Joe Devlin, with Major Fred Locke as co-pilot. Also on board was their crew chief, Corporal Joe Johnson. At a low altitude, Yankee Kilo 20 came under fire. Corporal Johnson quickly manned the GAU minigun and returned fire. While manning the minigun, Corporal Johnson was thrown around the interior as the craft pitched down and yawed violently to the far right. He ended up near the cockpit entrance and saw both the pilot and co-pilot had been hit by what was later determined to be a single AK-47 round. The bullet killed Lieutenant Devlin and entered the right wrist area of Major Locke, the arm lock needed to control the cyclic. Without any additional thought, Corporal Johnson quickly sat on the blood-covered corpse of Lieutenant Devlin that remained strapped into the armored seat. Lieutenant Devlin's helmet remained on his head, his visor up, his eyes open in a hollow stare. Corporal Johnson sat the best he could, with his feet on the rudders and his hands in full control of the collective and cyclic. Corporal Johnson managed to pilot the craft out of harm's way and headed back to the NSA hospital near MMAF. Fortunately, Major Locke regained consciousness in time to help with the landing. Corporal Johnson eventually received an unexpected Silver Star for his actions. The accompanying citation, meant to address the recipient's actions leading to the receipt of the third highest military decoration for valor in combat, inexplicably did not accurately describe his actions that led to his saving the aircraft and remaining crew members, earning him the medal. On 26 August 2022, the Marine Corps Papa Smoke reunion of helicopter air crews was held at the Golden Nugget Casino in Sparks, Nevada. This was the first time that now Major John Kaczynski, retired, and now Lieutenant Colonel Joe Johnson, also retired, met, though both were flying CH-46s out of MAG-16 Marble Mountain Air Facility. Their connection was First Lieutenant Joe Devlin, lost on 8 March 1970 in the action involving then Corporal Johnson. First Lieutenant Joe Devlin was also Kaczynski's hootchmate. John Kaczynski expressed his gratitude for Johnson's heroic actions.
51 years later or so, 50 years later, I found out that Joe Johnson, I think you were a corporal in the United States Marine Corps. When my roommate was killed with that single bullet, you took some heroic action that in the history of aviation, a lot of things happen. In the history of the time that we were in this aviation environment in Vietnam, no one ever did what you did. The pilot was dead, the co-pilot was wounded, in and out of consciousness to the point, and you crawled on top of the dead pilot, my roommate, and you saved a 46 and all the crew in it. And you flew that thing back to the medevac, and landing skills weren't your greatest, but you helped the wounded co-pilot get that thing on the ground. You got it to where he could take his last effort to do it. And I just, in my mind, I didn't know who you were or what happened until Hal Walker went ahead and started writing the book.